Welcome to your Platform Q learning experience. This learning video will show you how to use the Q-store application to create business content. Afterwards, you will see the process that needs to be carried out to manage business content and to release it. We need to use the Shopkeeper application to accomplish this. At last, we will show you how to use business content in the Business Object Builder application. There are a couple of learning objectives that we want to achieve. The learning objectives are: learn how to create a business content with the Q-store, understand the interplay between Q-store and Shopkeeper, learn to confirm a business content via the Shopkeeper application, learn to install and purchase a business content, learn to use a business content with data from a MySQL database. Business logic built on Platform Q can be packed with the Q-store. The Q-store is a marketplace to position digital products. These digital products are named under the category business content. The business content can be sold via the Q-store or merely distributed if you want to use the Q-store in your private cloud environment. Business content is created by partners of Q-nnect. They have an expertise in their specific area, for example, consultants for process optimization or S4 transformation projects, people analytics, and many other areas. Business content can contain business object and simulation Q objects. This learning video will give you a tour that displays the creation process, validation, and usage of a business content. Any business content can be mapped with Q objects on Platform Q. The creation of business content packages will be realized with the Q-store. Let's jump in Platform Q to create a business content with the Q-store application. In front of you is the relation tree, which represents the perfect order index key performance indicator. The perfect order index is a compilation score which measures the result of each of the four major components in the supply chain management field. The four major components are delivery on time, completeness of delivery, correctness of documentation, and damage-free shipment. The results of these four components will be multiplied with each other. The result of this multiplication displays the perfect order index. We are going to transform this logic into a business content. We will leave the relation tree and head to the Q-store application. In front of you appear all available categories. In the upper right corner, next to the shopping basket, you can find the option My Created Content. In My Created Content, you can click on the plus button to create a new business content. As already explained, you can create a business content of all business objects Q objects. In our example, we are going to select the perfect order index. Now you can determine the Q object that will be used as an input Q object. This is a crucial step in the production of a business content, because the customer will be mapping these fields with fields coming from a source system. It makes sense to provide a helpful documentation for the customer to accomplish this step successfully. After you have decided which Q object will serve as an input Q object, add a name to your business content and hit the Save button. The next step is to add details and the availability. In details, you can determine the category of the business content and other useful information to the customer. In availability, a business content creator can decide whether he wants to position a preview in the Q-store or a full release. In full release, he can also determine the pricing and subscription length. Via release, you can send the business content for validation reasons to the Shopkeeper application. As long as your business content is not validated, the status of your business content is awaiting approval. After the creation of the business content, the package was sent to the connected Shopkeeper application for validation reasons. The Shopkeeper application is the gateway to add business content to a Q-store instance. There can be one Q-store and several Platform Q instances that are connected with each other. Depending on the decision of an organization, business content can be sent to the public Q-store hosted by the organization Q-nnect or their own private Q-store instance, which can be used as a shared service center. The Shopkeeper application helps you to manage companies, determine the catalog structure of your local Q-store, to manage orders from partners or departments. Furthermore, it is also possible to manage created applications and business content. The latter will be the topic of this learning video. After the business content was validated in the Shopkeeper application, it can be released via the Q-store to the customer. The following chart will display the interplay between Shopkeeper and the Q-store. On the left side, we have a partner that can provide solutions to the customer. For example, performance management, business simulations, capital risk analysis, or something else. This partner has a Platform Q instance and wants to put his solution in the Q-store. The solution itself is semantic data that indicates specific steps or parameters. These steps result in a single endpoint. On the other side is the company Q-nnect. Q-nnect has a public store called Q-store. The first step is to create the logic on Platform Q and to send the business logic to the Shopkeeper. This includes the creation of attachments and descriptions of the business logic. The Shopkeeper application will be used to validate the business content so that the business content creator can release the content to the customer. A customer can afterwards find the business content in the Q-store and set an order for subscription via his own Platform Q instance. Let's see how you can validate business content via the Shopkeeper now. A Platform Q user with the permission to have access to the Shopkeeper application is allowed to confirm your submitted business content. Click on the Shopkeeper application. On the left side of the screen, you can see several options. You can confirm submitted applications via Applications. Same applies for business content. In addition, you can also add companies that have access to the Q-store in the cloud. If you are using the Q-store as a shared service center, companies can also be departments. It depends on how you want to use the Q-store and with whom. Via Catalog, you can determine which categories your Q-store will have. And in Orders, you can confirm an order from a customer. This learning video will focus on how to confirm business content. Please read the documentation or reach out to Q-nnect to receive more information. We select our perfect order index business content and set the status to Approved. This will be version 1.0 of our business solution. We confirm with the Save button and move to the user of the business content creator. We return to the Q-store application of the business content creator. We have a tile that represents our solution. This tile has a new status that says Approved. Now we can change the release status from Approved to Released. A customer can set an order for the business content now. The last step is to install the business content and to consume it with data from a source system. The business content can be used in the Business Object Builder application. A user needs to map one Q object with the business content Q object. It is necessary to map the fields correctly if you want to have the proper result of the business content. Fields that are incorrectly assigned to the content automatically lead to incorrect results. It makes sense to speak with the content creator to receive appropriate help. A business content Q object has two components. Beneath are input fields and above are output fields. Let's see how you can use business content in the Business Object Builder application. We look at this from the point of a customer. We are going to search for the perfect order index business content in the Q-store application. The perfect order index business content is found quickly. In our simplified example, we have already set an order, and the order was already approved via the Shopkeeper application. Now we can focus to use it. Click on Manage. You will be guided to the Purchased Items configuration window for our perfect order index business content. You need to install the business content before you can use it. Afterwards, you can open it in the Business Object Builder application. In our example, it is already installed. Platform Q guides you to the Business Object Builder application immediately. You need to select a Q object with data and map it with the business content. We are going to select the Q object order data. Order data is a MySQL database table. An automatic string comparison will map fields that are named like the business content fields. If the field names are not identical, you need to map the fields manually. The last step is to add a name to the Q object and to hit the Save and afterwards the Execute button. The result set will display only the output fields of the business content. In this case, the 4 major components and the perfect order index key performance indicator. Let's summarize what we have learned so far. The Q-store helps you to create a layer around a chain of Q objects that is called Business Content Q object. This business content can contain business objects and simulation Q objects at the moment. The Shopkeeper application is a tool to validate business content. Furthermore, business content can be released via the Q-store application. A customer can consume the business content in the Business Object Builder application. Thank you very much for your attention. We hope that you have enjoyed this learning experience with Platform Q.